What is up, guys? It is almost 11 a.m. I have just been reading again because right now I'm in a transitionary phase, so I can't really plan on stuff because some things are not certain right now. So I'm using that time to really get my mind straight, removing everything that is not needed. But now it's time for the workout. So you will see the clips in 3, 2, 1.
This is good.
Crash safe and all that. So it just requires a lot of iterative activity and caring about every millimeter of the car, and I think that's what results in a good product.
So right now, as you guys see, I'm not really working. I'm not working on the business right now. All I'm doing really is just reading and learning from guys like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, like the big guys. The reason why I'm not working is simply because right now I'm in and I will explain it to you in detail. I'm in a situation that is not really clear. As you guys maybe know, I've been running a business for the last 2 months. In the last, let's say 2 or 3 weeks, I just learned so much, and it all started with a key advice that I got from Hamza, which is to replace bad habits with education. So usually my bad habits would just be social media. So let's say it's Instagram or TikTok or whatever, or just YouTube also. But it's not only that. If you really think about it, like it is also very small things. For example, I'm uploading on YouTube and there's an app called YouTube Studio. And there you can just see like the amount of views you got, your stats, how many people have been watching the last 48 hours and stuff like that. And for some reason, I developed this habit of just checking it all the time. If I'm honest, deep down, the reason is because I was subconsciously hoping that one video might get many views, which makes no sense because not a single video was made for views, or maybe like 2 where I was talking about focus, it was in the beginning. These videos were more made for getting a time advantage, because if I'm uploading daily and I don't have that advantage, I have to film on the day and edit in the evening and upload it and hope that it gets uploaded before midnight, which is very stressful and it takes away all of your focus for anything else. But these were just some habits I developed. And with this advice, I just started not scrolling or not checking the app, but every time I got that urge to just go and watch a long form YouTube video. And in the same time, I discovered Sam Ovens and just started watching his content. And the more I watched his content and then also like other big entrepreneurs, I just realize what I did wrong in my business. And the reason why my business is not working, there's like billions of reasons, but one of the main reasons is, and I got this from Jeff Bezos, I have no customer focus. So every business has to start with the customer. So you have to, in the perfect state, you have to find a market of people that are similar, that have a specific problem, and you know how to solve that problem, or you find out their problem, find out how to solve this problem, and then market it to the people. But what I did was honestly just seeing what people were posting, let's say on YouTube or on Instagram, like making quick money. And I fell into the trap of thinking that I can make that quick money too, pretty much doing drop shipping, buying products and selling them online. Now, this model is not completely like bad, but the approach and the mindset behind that is just completely flawed, because you're just hoping that someone will buy your product, not even knowing if someone wants it really. I mean, you can see the sales, but all your business has to be set up in the way that the customer who sees that product wants it. So let's say you're marketing to a 20-year-old guy who goes to university, but people who buy that product are 45 and have a safe job. No one will buy it. And that's the mistake I made. So the business did not really make money at all. Like, I did some money, but it was like, it is a joke. And now I'm at the state of not having enough money to just have my monthly costs. So I'm trying to find a job that I can do that surpasses my monthly expenses by a few €100 or dollars, whatever you count in, so that I can still work on the business or work in business and have my expenses like solved. And because of that, because I'm looking for that job, I can't really like plan out the next moves, because one job might be in the evening, one job might be in the morning, one job might be just one day in the week. It's like, it's not safe. So right now I'm using that time to really sharpen my mind, learn new stuff, really soak everything in, and then slowly get into the stage of planning out these two things, like a small job and the business. And I don't know why that is. Maybe I just haven't seen it, but on social media, or let's say YouTube, I haven't really seen someone just talk about like failing, really failing and saying like, I failed at my business, I need to get a job. I haven't seen that before. Maybe there is something. Probably there is, because I mean, there's millions of users, billions of users on YouTube. So there might be someone, but it just hasn't been recommended to me. And maybe that's the reason. The algorithm is not made for telling the truth, maybe, like, or telling the complete truth. And if it is, it hasn't reached me. But I have no problem sharing this with you guys, because honestly, like, the stuff I went through in the past, I can just say like, I'm lucky to be alive. So failing at a business, stuff like that, is not really like bad to me, because especially in the stage that I am at, I have no responsibility for anyone else. Like, if you think about it, Jeff Bezos started his company with his parents giving most of their life savings, a few $100K, he said, and himself, and also he started with a few other people. So they were counting on him that he and his idea were right, and that his execution also was right. But a person like me that has no people that count on them, like, I can easily stop doing a business and it has no real negative effect. And that's the great thing when you're starting out. You can just try and fail. And really what I want to achieve with sharing this message is just, I mean, I'm here right now today, but life goes on. The earth keeps spinning. Let's say in 1 year, in 2 years, in 5 years, I will continue with what I'm doing right now. At this, other than me dying in a car accident or having some health condition, I will be successful. To me, it's impossible that I won't be, because like every day I'm just moving more and more towards that state of life and mind that makes people successful. And this is why, if you're still not maximizing your day, and I mean really maximizing, the first and best advice is that one that I got from Hamza, which is replace your bad habits with education. Once you do that, I mean, you have to be honest with yourself. What is a bad habit and what is not? If your goal is to be successful in business, and I will say this even though I'm not successful, but I know it, and that's the thing, you know it too. If you want to be successful in business, you know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And if you're trying to cope and say like, well, watching TV sometimes is not as bad, or scrolling sometimes is not as bad, I'm not doing it every day, just once a week, or stuff like that. If you're trying to find excuses, you're losing. That's not how it works. You have to be relentless. You have to say to yourself, like, what do I want to achieve? And what things am I doing that are not aligned with that? So everything that is not aligned with your goal, you have to remove it. It might be the easiest things, but just, I mean, you have to look at yourself and think to yourself really like, what are the things that I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing? And be honest about it. It's not a bad thing to admit that you're doing something wrong. It's worse to try to deny it, because you will look like a fool. You already look like a fool to yourself, either subconsciously, so you don't even realize it, but down, you know you shouldn't be doing it, or consciously, you know you shouldn't be doing it, but you still defend it, even though in your mind you know like it's the wrong thing. But also long term, if you look back at yourself, you will just realize the sooner you quit that bad habit, the better. You will look at yourself 5 years from now, you will look back and you will be like, why did I try to convince myself for 3 months that this habit is good? Makes no sense. So really start by doing that. And the education that you replace it with is long form content on YouTube, for example. I mean, the most long form content is on YouTube, or books. Those two things, they have to be aligned with your goal. So don't just go on YouTube and watch a documentary about like whales, but really like think about what you want to achieve. If it's a athletic goal, then watch how athletics are working out, or a story of an athlete who made it from nothing to everything. If you want to achieve something in business, just the same. There's so many businessmen that have great success who didn't start out as rich people. For example, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they weren't poor, but they definitely made billions out of not even millions. So they had to do something right. And if you do that, you will, first of all, there will be so much time that you will spend watching this, because your bad habits take up way much more time than you actually realize. And because you do that, your mind just gets into a state of like only thinking about business. Like there's nothing else I think about. You're transforming yourself within weeks. And weeks later, you feel like you've just went through 1 year of experience because you just learned so much. At some point, you have to make that change from just watching the content or reading the book to actually studying it. So, for example, reading a book, I will show it to you real quick. Right now, I'm reading Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. Yeah, I'm here on page 24. So it's not really much I've read, you would think, but these are the notes I took. Think about it. 24 pages, and these are the notes that I took. So what I did essentially is just, so for example, you see this paragraph right here where some guy talks about golfers who watch other good golfers are suddenly better, but it is not an accident. What I do is every paragraph I summarize what is written there, and then every few paragraphs, like you can see it here and here, every few paragraphs I will make a summary of everything I've read until this line. So everything above is the first dot, and everything between here and here will be the second dot. And what that does is really like you really start to ingrain the things that are written in the book into your head. Because if you want to be successful, you don't want to pretend like you're successful, like, yeah, I'm reading books, I'm learning stuff, just to be able to tell someone that you're doing that, but you actually want to learn it. So you have to find out how to learn best, how to learn fastest, and how to make the things that you've learned stick. And you don't make them stick by just reading a book in the bed in the evening and just like being done with it and that's it. You make them stick by reading it, thinking about it, writing down what you've read, reading it again, writing down again what you read, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the book, I should be able to tell you what's inside. I mean, it's not going to be in detail. I'm not going to like try to remember everything, but just I'm going to know what's inside of there, and especially the things that I think are important. It's like a mental library you build, because now if a problem comes up in my life, I don't just think about, I might have read that somewhere, but I know exactly where I've read it. And I can either think about the book and find the solution like that, or I know what book it is and I go into that book, read it again, and then I have my solution. You realize you just went from having bad habits and somehow getting by to being very productive and very like really learning stuff and really moving forward and actually making progress. So guys, if you're watching until this point, you're on the right path, I can tell you that, because it means, first of all, you have an attention span which is not 20 seconds. And second of all, you're watching stuff which is actually valuable to you, because I mean, you could watch, I don't know, the biggest prank of 2025 or the craziest crime story, but at the end of the day, if you want to make something out of your life, which is not a couch potato, you need to work on your life, not on someone else's. If you're watching like the news or crime story, whatever you're watching, I mean, what does it actually benefit you? You know stuff now which is not related to your life. It's useless. So with that said, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you liked what I told you here, please leave a like, and also consider subscribing if you resonate with what I'm saying, because I will not stop posting these videos. And also leave me a comment down below and tell me what you realize you need to change, because if there's one thing you should take from this video is that you need to change something. So with that said, guys, see you tomorrow and peace.